Hi, this is David Hardesty. Welcome to TA 352, Taxation of Electronic Commerce. In this lecture, I will introduce myself and provide an overview of the course, its objectives, format, and instructional method. First, let me introduce myself. I'm a CPA, writer, and adjunct professor. I began my practice as a CPA in 1978 when I joined Touche Ross & Co. after graduating with an accounting degree from Golden Gate University. Touche Ross was one of the original Big 8 firms. Touche later merged with Deloitte. In 1981, I joined WMB2, formerly Wilson, Markle, Stuckey, Hardesty, and Bott CPAs. Having earned my master's in tax from Golden Gate University, I specialized in tax consulting and compliance. I worked for over 30 years with privately owned companies. Now my activities are restricted to teaching and writing. In 1999, I completed my first major book, Electronic Commerce, Taxation, and Planning, which is an authoritative treatise covering all aspects of the taxation related to electronic commerce. This book began my association with Thomson Reuters, one of the country's most important publishers of books, journals, and information services on taxation, finance, and accounting. To date, I have written 11 books for Thomson Reuters on taxation, accounting, corporate governance, which are currently available either in print or online through Checkpoint. These are Electronic Commerce, Taxation, and Planning, the text for this course. Taxation of Electronic Commerce, Choice of Entity, Compensatory Options, books on international taxation, including classification of U.S. resident and non-resident aliens and foreign entities, U.S. income taxation of foreign persons, business income, branch level taxes. In the financial reporting realm, accounting for stock compensation, and I'm one of the co-authors of SEC Expert Domestic Filers. In the corporate governance area, Practical Guide to Corporate Governance and Accounting, implementing the requirements of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, and Corporate Director's Desk Book. I joined the faculty of Golden Gate University's Braden School of Taxation as an adjunct professor in 2000 when I began teaching taxation of electronic commerce. In 2011, I began teaching international taxation, inbound transactions, for Northeastern University's DeMoore McKim School of Business. I received my BA in accounting and MBA in taxation from Golden Gate University, and I'm a member of the California Societies of CPAs. Now let's look at the purpose of this course and the way it is taught. The objective of this course is to gain an understanding of all of the tax issues that are important to companies that do business through the internet. On completion of this course, you will have a basic understanding of the tax issues and associated tax rules related to the following key tax areas, which are the areas of primary importance to companies doing business online. The tax accounting for website development costs, the tax accounting for internet startups, state sales tax on goods and services sold through the internet, state income tax on companies selling goods and services through the internet, foreign income taxation of U.S. companies selling goods and services to other countries, U.S. taxation of foreign companies selling goods and services to U.S. customers, U.S. taxation of U.S.-owned foreign corporations selling goods and services through the internet, European value-added tax imposed on U.S. and non-U.S. corporations selling goods and services to European customers through the internet, and transfer pricing of international transactions in electronic commerce. Now let's look at how we accomplish these objectives. This course has 5 primary learning methods: audio lecture, written lectures, reading, weekly quizzes, weekly discussion problems. Each unit includes 1 or more lectures similar to this one. Each lecture presents the learning objectives and the important points for each learning unit. Through the lecture, each student should gain a clear idea of what we're trying to accomplish, how the learning objectives will be reached, and how to determine when the learning objectives have been reached. Students should listen to the lectures at the beginning of each week before doing the reading in the text or taking the quiz for the unit. Each audio lecture, such as the one you're listening to, is accompanied by a written lecture that corresponds to the audio lecture. The written lecture can be used as a study guide to focus your study on the important points. I'd recommend that you print and save the written lecture and use it to keep important notes on the material. The written lecture should be a key study guide for tests. I'm always asked by students about what to study for a midterm or final exam. And I tell them, study the written lectures and make sure you understand everything in them. As long as you do this, you will do fine on the tests. For reading assignments, this course uses the textbook Electronic Commerce, Taxation and Planning. We are using the online version of this text, which is accessed through Checkpoint. Reading from additional sources may from time to time be assigned. Each unit includes a quiz. These quizzes are graded and count for 15% of your final grade. You can take a quiz more than once. Ideally, you should receive close to 100% on each quiz because you will be shown your wrong answers and can take the quiz again to correct them. The purpose of each quiz is to reinforce the important points and help students make sure of their understanding of the reading. Students can view their scores by going to the Gradebook tab. If you have any difficulty viewing either your quiz score or the suggested solutions, contact me immediately. The next learning method is the online discussion. Your full participation in these online discussions is mandatory and counts for 15% of your grade. Each week, I will post 2 problems that relate directly to the learning objectives and which are meant to be discussed. When I say discussed, I mean just that. The point of the problem is to elicit discussion and participation from students. Another optional learning method is the weekly online chat using Zoom. These chats are not mandatory and are not graded, but they are very important to accomplish the objectives of this course and the larger objective of furthering your professional development. The chats can provide you a number of benefits to enhance your learning experience in this class. Among these are: the chats provide you an opportunity to get answers to questions about the material from the instructor and from other students. Provide you an opportunity to contribute to the class by sharing your own experiences and understanding of the subject. And provide you a space to interact in a professional way with the rest of the class and widen your network of colleagues in the tax community. To participate in the online chat, you need audio capability at a minimum. The chat window is worthless in an online chat. In addition, a webcam is highly recommended. It is difficult to have an actual chat with somebody if you cannot see the person. Let's discuss how your grade is determined in this course. 35% of your grade for the course is based on the midterm exam. This exam covers the material in units 1 through 8. 35% of your grade for the course is based on the final exam. This exam primarily covers the material in units 9 to 13. The midterm exam is not proctored. The final exam is proctored. Both are scheduled to take no more than 3 hours to complete, and both exams are open book and open note. 15% of your grade is based on weekly quizzes, and 15% of your grade is based on participation in online discussions. So let's now talk about online discussions. As I said, your participation in online discussions counts for 15% of your grade. All other things being equal, if you receive no discussion points, your grade is reduced by more than one full letter grade. There are many ways to participate. You can be the first out of the gate person and answer the discussion problem first. Just as in class, there is always someone who raises his or her hand first. You do not get extra points for answering first, and you do not lose points for not answering first. Do whatever you feel comfortable with. You can be the in addition person, often the first person to post a suggested solution to a problem leaves a point or two out, and you can be the person to fill in the blanks. You can be the what if person. If previous posters seem to have exhausted possible answers to a problem, you can add some new facts or change the facts. You can make helpful corrections. If another person's post appears to be wrong, go ahead and point this out, but do so politely and tactfully. Most methods of participation work, but some do not. One thing that does not work is late participation. Even though we are not all online at the same time, we do have to be more or less together in time to make a discussion work. For this reason, online discussions are closed, meaning you cannot get credit for posting to them after the end of each week. Some students cannot always make timely postings because of travel, illness, or other reasons. When this happens, just make sure you fully participate in following weeks. If a student has good participation in at least 10 of the 13 units in which we have discussions, he or she will get full participation points. A discussion is not multiple answers to the same question. In some cases, I've posted a problem and had 10 different students give me the same answer to the problem. This is not the point of an online discussion. When you answer a discussion problem, read all of the previous postings first. If someone has already posted an answer, do not post the same answer. Just as in a classroom, once a correct answer has been given, it is time to move on. As I discussed previously, your posting should add to or challenge previous postings, or should look at the problem from another point of view, such as by changing the facts. Let's talk about how and when to post your comments and suggested solutions in the discussions. Each unit starts on a Sunday and ends 8 days later on the following Sunday. Likewise, discussion problems open on Sunday and close 8 days later on Sunday. Ideally, students should plan to read the online lectures and do the reading assignments and quizzes several days before the end of each unit so as to begin posting to discussions early. This allows other students to comment on postings throughout the week and wrap up the discussions the following weekend. Most of the problems are multi-part, and each part is interrelated with the others. When you post an answer to a problem, you can attempt to address all of the parts and try to address the connections between the parts, or just some of the parts where you answer those parts in depth. When you post to a problem, try to make your answer as full as possible. This gives other students and me plenty of material on which to comment. Be warned that some problems can take a few hours of analysis and research to work out. Very few of the online discussion problems have simple answers. If you find that you have taken only 15 minutes to answer a problem, please take another look at your answer. I know that some students would like me to post specific final solutions for each discussion problem, but in this course I will not do so. Here's why. Each of the discussions is meant to be open-ended, with students posing issues and suggesting solutions. I have no idea where the final discussion will go, so I cannot anticipate what the final solution will be. Instead of focusing on students getting the right answer to a problem, I want to focus on encouraging a good discussion in which everybody has a chance to participate and explore the problems posed by the fact situation. As in much of our study of tax law, it is the discussion and analysis that is important and not the final solution. Discussion posts need to be complete. Each discussion question is followed by the subheadings Rule, Analysis, and Conclusion. In the Rule section, include the relevant substantial authorities. In the Analysis section, analyze the problem by applying the rules to the given facts, and finally state your conclusion. There are no fact or issue sections to complete because the problem itself provides the facts and the questions to be answered are the issues. Let me tell you how I plan to participate in the discussions. Ideally, a discussion should go as follows. One student posts an initial response to a discussion. The other students supplement that post or provide their own ideas about a solution to a problem, and then other students comment on the previous responses. I will then add to the discussion or post corrections to responses that are clearly wrong. For each discussion, I will seldom make a comment if only one student has posted a suggested solution. Each discussion is a project to be completed by the class as a whole. I will wait until other students have had a chance to post. I expect the class to have created a well-developed discussion before I join in. The reason I wait is to avoid shutting off discussion among students. Let's talk about how to get full discussion points. Students often ask how much discussion is enough to earn full participation points. Here's how to get full points. 15% of a student's final grade is for participation in online discussions. Units 2 through 13 each have 2 discussions for a total of 24 discussions. To get full participation for the course, you must fully participate in 80% of those discussions. To get full points for a particular discussion, you must make at least 2 substantial posts to that discussion. One post is for your own direct response to the discussion problem, and the other is a comment on another student's post. For example, in Unit 2, there are 2 discussions. For each discussion, make at least 1 post to directly answer the discussion prompt, and at least 1 to comment on another student's posts. Therefore, in Unit 2, you need to make at least 4 posts. Let's talk briefly about writing for this course. I emphasize good writing in this course in the weekly online discussions and the midterm and final exams. For this reason, I have created a separate lecture on writing for this course, which is part of your assigned reading. Please read that lecture before posting any comments to online discussions. Following are the key learning resources for this course. The text, Electronic Commerce, Taxation, and Planning, is available in online form in Checkpoint. Checkpoint is the Thomson Reuters online research system. Each student is issued a Checkpoint password and user ID for the semester. On Checkpoint, each student has access to the Internal Revenue Code and regulations, a number of journals, the course textbook, and other resources. Each student should take time in exploring this important resource. For problems with CyberCampus, there's a CyberCampus help desk, which is accessed through the first CyberCampus login screen. The Help button at the top right of the course screen gives the student access to answers on most questions related to the operation of CyberCampus. You can contact me in various ways. If a question is urgent, please either email or telephone to me. Otherwise, all communication should go through the online discussion area. Each unit has a general discussion area, which you can use to post any questions about the course or the week's material.